I'm delighted to have the opportunity to speak to you about the themes of Mission Sunday this year in our diocese. It's been an extraordinary year, hasn't it? And so much has changed, so much is different now. I suppose there are some things that have been good about the year. We've learned, I suppose, to slow down our lives. We've come to appreciate things like walks in nature, our surroundings. We appreciate friends and family and friendships, probably even more than we did before. But there have also been negative things about this year. We felt the sense of lockdown. We've been separated sometimes from family and loved ones. And I suppose at this time of year, we're particularly worried about how we will connect with family and friends. We're wondering whether people who are abroad will be able to get home to share in our family celebrations at Christmas. Lots of worries. One of the things that has happened to us all, I think, is that we have been very concerned about our own well-being, our own health, the health of our family and our friends. And in a sense, sometimes we've lost the inclination to look beyond our immediate circle and express our concern to other people. But we know as Christians, and we don't need the story of the Good Samaritan to remind us, that our concern for our neighbours must extend far beyond those in our immediate family circle and our immediate circle of friends. There are two groups of people who are particularly in our mind this time of year. The issue of domestic abuse, as we all know, is a very real one in Ireland today. And as the statistics have shown, it's one that has become even more prevalent and much more difficult during the lockdown. Can you imagine what it is like to be living at home with the person who is regularly and unpredictably violent towards you, the person who hurts you and harms you, the person who threatens your family? Imagine the sense of fear you have every time you hear the key turning in the hall door. To live with that during lockdown is an extraordinarily punishing sentence for anyone. And yet that reality has grown for many people in Ireland today. And those victims and those who seek to help them are part of our concern this Christmas time for Mission Sunday. The other group are groups of young people. We all know how the lives of young people have been affected during this lockdown. Of course, there's been efforts to make sure that school and college still happens, classes are online, and we've done our best to make up for the lack that they experience. But still, part of being young is to have friendships and social interaction, to be able to share with your friends and tell stories together. All of that has been affected. And for some young people, the lockdown has been just too much. And I think there's been a growing experience that the mental health of some of our young people has been very badly affected during this lockdown period. So those two groups of people are very much at the forefront of our minds this Mission Sunday and as we approach the Christmas time. And so our focus this Mission Sunday will be on two charities who seek to help these two groups of people. One of them is Women's Aid, and we all know what extraordinary work they do in helping those who are the victims of domestic abuse. And we know that the need is very great at this time.
Listening, believing, supporting. This is what we do in Women's Aid. For over 40 years, women facing domestic violence have turned to us for support. We support women through the National Free Phone Helpline, through our one-to-one supports, our court accompaniment service, and our Dolphin House court support and referral service. In 2019, we received 20,763 contacts, during which 24,049 disclosures of domestic abuse against women and children were made. Now, in 2020, working in the shadow of COVID-19, our services have been stretched to the limit. COVID-19 has shone a further light on the levels of domestic violence in homes across Ireland. As we all retreated to our homes for safety, it became increasingly clear that home is not a safe place for everyone. I feel I've no choice but to put up with his unacceptable behaviour all day, every day, because I'm literally locked inside the house with him. Between March and the end of June, there has been a 43% increase in calls to our 24-hour helpline and a 71% increase in visits to the Women's Aid website. There has also been a 25% increase in calls to the Gardaí for help. I've thought about ending my life just to escape the situation. Women's Aid has had to respond fast. Due to government restrictions, we had to move our dedicated face-to-face drop-in support and referral service in Dolphin House to a phone service. But in doing so, we extended our opening hours to increase accessibility for women trying to seek court protection. We also increased our general online instant messaging support service by 32 hours a week to assist helpline users who could only reach out in silence. We sourced free radio and print advertising to promote the availability of the 24-hour national free phone helpline, letting anyone who was experiencing abuse know that we are still here. Raising awareness during COVID-19 has been important, not just to showcase the epidemic of domestic violence that is happening now, but the violence and abuse that has always taken place behind closed doors in Ireland. I feel completely trapped, suffocated, and I'm frightened of telling anyone in case matters escalate and the situation gets even worse. Women's Aid. Listening, believing, supporting.
The other charity is the charity Jigsaw, which seeks to help young people who are suffering from mental health issues, which have been heightened during this lockdown period. We do need to extend our circles of concern this Christmas time beyond those of our immediate family and our friends, and to remember those in our wider society who are suffering, for whom the lockdown has been a very, very difficult experience. I commend the work of these two charities, Women's Aid and Jigsaw, to you, and ask you to extend your support and your generosity, particularly to these two groups of charities. I thank you for listening to me, and I thank you in anticipation for your support for these two charities.